Well, God bless you. Heaven smile on you. It's good to be back with you. And this time with a superb guest all the way from the Republic of South Sudan, a relatively new country in the global neighborhood. And in the person of Francis Bark, good to have you here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Bishop.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we've been having a good time.
Indeed, we have.
Hearing your testimony and hearing what God's doing in different parts of the world. So, your book, which I should have a copy of, it'll be up on the screen, Escape from Slavery. And we need to take a couple of moments and give a little overview of your experience in life and how you got from Sudan at the time, now it's the Republic of South Sudan, now how you got from Sudan to America and what's going on, and how should we chime in on what's going on with you?
Well, thank you. The thing is, it is such an honor to be on television and to be watched all over the world and to speak here on my own behalf and on behalf of my new country that I'm very proud of, the Republic of South Sudan, which is 11 years old, the world member of number 193rd in the world, in the United Nations, and number 54th in the continent of Africa. It really goes back to years of struggle of my people, a year of liberations, year of searching for peace and stability. Our country is Sudan, which now we ceded from to become South Sudan as a country of its own, was colonized by British. But when British left that country in 1956, the people of my region, then South Sudanese, and the people of Darfur, which is in Western Sudan, and the people of Nuba Mountains in Southern Kordofan, and the people of Blue Nile, and far north, Aswan, and the people of Bija in Eastern Sudan, had fallen exactly under the colonizations of British against elite Arab groups who had come to that country and continued with suppressing and oppressing and marginalizing my people. And South Sudan since then, even though the whole country gained independence from British, we never felt that independence, particularly the black people who are being marginalized. The majority were led by South Sudanese, where I hail from. We had never felt the sense of independence, sense of respect, equalizations and everything. Politically, economically, and socially, we have never been equal and treated equally as the same citizens. My people has always been labeled as a third-class citizen in their own country. And with that, my people pick up their arms, the people of South Sudan, and we've been battling and fighting over the years. We fought the first war. From 1955 to 1972, we signed a peace with the elite government in Khartoum. But that peace did not last. It broke out again, and we fought from 1983 until 2005. When we have
what?
1983 until 2005, in January 2005, then we signed a peace. The peace that we signed was not just a gift. Khartoum regime did not just decide it to say, let the people of South Sudan decide their fate. But it took us sacrifices of over 2 million lives. Men and women were perished in that war. That includes my own parents, both my father and my mother, and twin uncles, and many people that I'm related or neighboring have died during that war. So in 2005, when the whole world heard of us, our story, and stood behind us, and particularly the United States of America, and this is where I came in personally and my people to acknowledge and to appreciate the previous administration of the United States of America under the prudent leadership of former President George W. Bush. He's indeed our hero. He came in, he broke the silence when the whole world turned their back on us and deaf ears, and he stood up. He promised that before he left the office, as the U.S. president would make sure the peace comes and become a reality in the country of Sudan. Indeed, he did it. He sent a strong man, great leader, Colin Powell, to mediate, and he was among those who have sat on the table in negotiation with the Khartoum government, the most strictest government, most strictest group to negotiate with. They are taught on everything until the peace become a reality, and the interim period of 6 years were given for the people of South Sudan, and almost was supposed to be the same thing for the people of Blue Nile and Abyei, which is the region that is oil rich, belong to the south. To decide in 6 years whether they will vote for the United Sudan to keep Sudan as a one country, or choose to vote for their own states. But we have did it beautifully in 2011, on July 9, 2011. We have all voted for independence of South Sudan during that referendum. I'm a U.S. citizen, a dual citizen of the United States, and I voted in America for separation from the whole country because that country never represented me as equal citizens. That country never recognizes or never even allowed my region to develop. There's no roads in South Sudan. There's no hospital in South Sudan. There's no clean water in South Sudan. When in fact South Sudan region, the most richest land, agricultural land. And we have other minerals, other natural resources that are available there that motivated these Arabs from the north to come and occupy our areas, which they still do even as of today. So, as South Sudan become a country now, and those of us who were lucky, as I could just flashback about the history of the country, most of us were born in the war. I was born in the year of 1979. And during the short period I lived with my parents, which I have never seen and will never see again until age of 7 in 1986. When I was 7 years old. I became a victim of that war I just described that ended in 2005.
What was the actual capsule experience for?
Well, that happened, I was sent to the local market by my mother one of the evening in the year 1986. Parents have choice sometimes to ask among their children who to ask to do what. And I think it was God touched my mom's heart that day to ask me to go to the local market to sell eggs and peanuts. I believe that's the reason I'm surviving. He didn't mean it for anything evil, even though evil things happened for both of us. I had left the local market to sell eggs and peanuts with the joy and happiness as someone who would do a favor for the parents, and particularly to my mom. But I had never made it back from that marketplace. My village was raided behind me by the groups of Arabs that called themselves Arab Bagar or Arab Murahalin. Now they are so known with the issue of Darfur, Arab Janjaweed, people who always on horseback, get the weapons from Khartoum government, the elite government that leading that country under the dictator president Omar Hassan Ahmed al-Bashir, who came to that power by military coup since 1989 to present. In fact, he's the most wanted man. He has committed crimes against humanity, slavery in Darfur, in South Sudan, and all over across the country of Sudan.
Still in power
And he has
now?
been indicted by the International Criminal Court, ICC, along with these those who were supporting him. So I became a victim of slavery where I served 10 years in captivity. When my village raided, the same group that raided my village came to the marketplace and raided the same market and captured women and children. And I was actually taken to slavery at the age of 7, spending 10 years in captivity as a property of another man. And after multiple attempts, I was able to succeed and made my way to the capital of Sudan, Khartoum. And eventually, with the help of some tribemen in Khartoum, where I stayed in one of the refugee camps called Jabarona, I was able to make my way to Egypt by land, taking a boat from Egypt, from Sudan border through Egypt. And I spent a good 2 years in Egypt searching for refugee status until I was given resettlement to come to America in late of 1999 as a refugee. But one thing I have not forgotten when I came here is that I knew very well how my people are still in that region, in that country. I did not just came and enjoy my immigration life as immigrant, like any other immigrants that came from all over the world to seek for the betterment of their lives in the communities. I have decided to dedicate my life story to speak out on the plight of my people. Because I said, what is good, my freedom? Although I'm in the greatest nation, the United States of America, what is good, my freedom, if my people are still dying? What is good, my freedom, if my people are still in slavery? So I said to myself, I will do whatever it takes in my part as individual or as a victim to speak out, to spread awareness, to remind the American people and the world that slavery is not history. Although people think that slavery ended, particularly with the history of the U.S. after the Civil Rights Movement, that slavery ended over 200 years ago. 1865, people need to think again.
We have about less than a minute left in this segment, and we'll do another. Where, in the next segment, I want us to address how and who in America would be in the best position to assist what need to happen or what may be happening already in the Republic of South Sudan. We want to address that, who it is and how they can best help and assist in South Sudan through what's going on in your life. Well, friends, you're listening to a powerful testimony, and no doubt some have been keeping up in the news, DEFAR and other places that we've heard in the news and was kind of foggy about, hey, what's it all about? Well, we have someone here today that really helps us out in that particular understanding. So appreciate you. And we'll be back, and stay tuned. God bless.